Now we're going to start doing exercises, okay? Exercise 4. Question A says, excuse me, evaluate the following without the use of a calculator. Now, I like method 2, okay? The method 2 we did learn in the previous video. This is what I'm gonna do. I can do it again. I can see here like sin and cos. I prefer to write my numbers here. Let me recap. If I have numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Now, first thing I will do is to square root each of these numbers. Okay, I square root here, I square root there, I square root there, I square root there, and I square root there. And then I will divide each of these by 2, by 2, by 2, by 2, by 2, and then by 2. I know this will give me the special ratio useful in order to work out, to solve this problem without the help of a calculator, okay? So the special ratio will be 0, 1, root 2 over 2, root 3 over 2, and then that's going to be 1, because root 4 makes 2, 2 over 2 is 1. Now I know that if I want to work out the sign, for instance, I know if I work out the sign will be like 0 degrees here, 30 degrees, 45, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. And then if I need the cos, I'll write cos here, and then the values are like 0 degrees in descending order. So it's going to be 0 degrees, 30, 45, 60, okay, I don't know, this was supposed to be a half, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. So it's going to be this way, descending order. Now I can start solving my problem. I know 10 is going to be just dividing these. Okay, now let's start answering the question. For 1, for instance, I can do that, or if you like using the triangle, you can also do like you draw that triangle here. You know, it's going to be like 1, and then 1 there, and then that's going to be like root 2, and the angle is 45, 45, or the half of the equilateral triangles makes also another 90 degrees angle. This is going to be like 60 degrees and 30 degrees there, and then that's going to be like 1, and then that's going to be 2, and then it's going to be like square root of 3. You can also memorize this, okay? Now, if I start to answer the questions, I'll say like question 1, for instance, sin of 30 degrees, I can look here, sin of 30 degrees 1 over 2, or sin of 30 degrees, I'll do opposite. Okay, if you use this method, you need to have also the formulas here. You know that sine of the angle is opposite over hypotenuse, or y over r. Cos of the angle will be adjacent over hypotenuse, or sometimes x over r. And finally, tan of the angle, which is opposite over adjacent, or y over x. So to answer the question, like sine of 30 degrees plus cos of 45 degrees, if I look at this one, I'll say sine of 30 degrees is a half. So I have like a half plus cos squared of 45. Cos of 45 is root 2 over 2. Root 2 over 2 to the power of 2. Or you use this formula, okay, sine of 30 degrees is going to be opposite over hypotenuse, so 1 over 2, plus cos of 45. 45 is here. It's going to be like adjacent 1 over root 2. And if you rationalize this, you're going to get root 2 over root 2, okay, to the power of 2. And then this will be equal to like a half plus that makes what? 2 over 4, because the power of 2 is for the root 2 and also for the 2 at the denominator. and then that makes a half plus a half, and the answer is just 1, okay? Now question 2. Question 2, we have a cos of 30 degrees plus tan of 60 degrees. So if I look here, cos of 30 degrees is root 3 over 2, or I can look here, cos of 30 degrees is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse, so root 3 over 2 still. So root 3 over 2 plus tan of 60 degrees. I can look here, I know that tan is sine over cos, okay? Tan of the angle is sine of the angle over cos of the angle. So I look at sine of 60 degrees. I'm gonna say sine of 60 degrees is this, over cos of 60 degrees is that. Okay, so it's gonna be root 3 over 2 over a half, or you can also look here, sine of 60 degrees. I think in this case it's gonna be, because I drew the triangle, I think this is gonna be quicker. Sine of tan of 60 degrees is opposite over adjacent, so if you work it out, you're gonna get root 3, okay? If you simplify, that's gonna be root 3. It's gonna be plus to root 3. So this is like, it's like we have like a half root 3 plus 1 root 3, okay? So this it's like there is an invisible one here, okay? It's like doing a half plus 1 and then you put the root 3. A half plus 1 is 3 over 2. So this is going to be like 3 over 2 root 3. Okay. We can also do question 3. That's a 1030 over 1060. Question 3, 1030. I can look here. I can use the triangle 1030. 30 degrees there. It's opposite over adjacent. So 1 over root 3 over 1060. 1060 is here. Opposite is root 3 over 1. So it's going to be root 3 over 1. Root 3 over 1. So that makes 1 over root 3 multiplied by the inverse. So it's 1 over root 3. You know, whenever we have a fraction over another fraction, we take the first fraction multiplied by the inverse of the other fraction. So 1 over root 3 multiplied by the inverse of this. And then this makes 1 over 3. Okay? We can also do question 4. It's here. Question 4 is given by sine squared of 45 degrees. Sine 45 degrees is root 2 over 2 to the power of 2. Okay, let me just move it like this. Sine squared 45. Sine 45 is root 2 over 2. Or sine 45 is opposite over hypotenuse, 1 over root 3, 1 over root 2, which is simplified by that, minus cos 30 degrees. Cos squared 30. Cos 30 is that, so also that's into the power of 2, plus root 3 over 2 to the power of 2. Now, the power of 2 cancels the root, that makes 2 over 4, okay, because this power is for the root 2 and also for the 2. Same also here, it's going to be plus 3 over 4. Now that the denominator is just common, okay, we will add the numerator, that makes 5 over 4. Now, the last question is 1060 plus sine 60 degrees. I look here, 1060 degrees. It's going to be opposite over adjacent, root 3 over 1, which is root 3. Opposite, that makes root 3 plus sine 60. If I look here, sine 60 is root 3 over 2, or sine 60 is going to be opposite over hypotenuse, still root 3 over 2. Okay, so that makes root 3 over 2. So now, again, pretend there's an invisible one there, and then over here, sorry about that. I was saying this is like a half root. This can be written as a half root 3. Okay, so it's just like doing 1 plus a half, which is 3 over 2 root 3. Okay, thank you. We can also do certain questions are like, as we can see here, question 7. If you use the same technique as I did there, you will know that cos of 30 degrees will be, let me write here 7. Cos of 30 degrees will be root 3 over 2, multiplied by 10 of 30 degrees. Let's look at here. 10 of 30 degrees. Okay, because we are here, cos of 30 degrees is that, and then 10 over 30 degrees will be 30 degrees will be opposite over adjacent, 1 over root 3. So it's going to be like 1 over root 3. Okay, and then minus 10 of 45, which is 1. And then over here we can simplify root 3 and root 3, and then the answer will be like a half minus 1, and this is equal to negative a half. Okay, and then question 8, sine of 45 degrees is root 2 over 2, multiplied by cos of 45, which is also root 2 over 2, over 1060. 1060 in the triangle 60 is going to be like root 3 over 2. No, root 3 over 1. Okay. Root 3 over 1, which is just root 3, and then times 10 of 30 degrees, it's going to be 1 over root 3. Multiplied by 1 over root 3. Now, over here, that this makes roots 2 times roots 2, we don't want, we times the fraction, we don't need to find a common denominator. Okay, we times the numerators and then we times the denominator. That makes 2 over 4 over what? There is an invisible one over here, and then we can simplify this and that, and then that makes 1. Okay, and then that makes what? A half over 1. Okay, and then this is like there is an invisible one there, and then that makes just a half. And then question 9. Question 9 is as you can see, square root of 2. I'm right square root of 2 there. Cos of 45 is root 2 over 2. Okay, minus square root of 3, and then 10 of 30 degrees is 1 over root 3. So we can solve this. You know, this and this can be simplified, and root 2 times root 2 makes 2 over 2. Okay, minus 1, and then that's equal to 1 minus 1, which is 0. Okay. Question 10. That makes like what? 4 cos squared. As you can see, 4 cos squared 30 degrees plus 10 30 degrees times sine 60 degrees. So cos of 30 degrees is root 3 over 2 to the power of 2. We could say cos squared plus 10 of 30 degrees, which is 1 over root 3, multiplied by sine of 60 degrees, which is root 3 over 2. Now again, over here we can simplify that and that, and then this will be 4 multiplied by 3 over 4, because this power of 2 is for the root 3 and also for the denominator. Okay, and then plus a half. Now 4 and 4 here can be simplified because it's like here's a fraction like that of 1. We can simplify the 4, and then this makes 3 plus a half, and 3 plus a half is just 3.5. Okay, was question A. Thank you. Well, question B, exercise 4 still says, using the fact that 1 equal to root A over root A, where A is positive, A is more than 0, show that 1 over root 2 equal to root 2 over root 2 over 2. Okay, this was explained a few times in the video, previous videos. You know, when we have like 1 over root 2, you know, we can multiply this by 1. It's still going to be 1 over root 2. So there are many ways of writing 1. We can write 1 as root 2 over root 2, because all this just make 1. Okay, so if I do 1 times root 2, it's going to be root 2, and then root 2 times root 2 is 2. This means 1 over root 2 is the same thing as root 2 over 2. So it's called rationalizing the denominator. Okay, and then question B2 says hence show that cos of 45 is root 2 over 2. So as we proved that in the previous question, we've seen that in the previous videos, I mean, cos of 45 degrees, if we use the triangle, we will get, maybe let me start by drawing the triangle here. Because the 45 degrees, I'm gonna draw, oh, no. Yes, this seems like an isosceles triangle. 45 there, and then it's going to be 1, 1, and then that was root 2. So cos of 45 degrees is 1 over root 2. Okay, because it's going to be adjacent side. If my angle my 45 I select is this one, it's going to be like adjacent side over hypotenuse. Okay, so 1 over root 2. To do that, we multiply here by root 2 over root 2 to rationalize the denominator, and then this is going to be that. And then tan of 30 degrees. Now I need to draw the other triangle here. The other right angle triangle here. 30, 60, and then there is 1, and then 2, and then that was root 3. Okay, so now if I need to work out tan of 30 degrees, this will be then tan of 30 is opposite over adjacent. So 30 degrees there, opposite 30 degrees 1, and adjacent is root 3. So it's going to be like 1 over root 3, and then this is going to be, we rationalize this by, when we multiply by root 3 over root 3, and then this will be root 3 over 3. Okay, now tan of 60 degrees, tan of 60 degrees, it's going to be tan 60 degrees. 60 degrees is there. As you see, tan is opposite over adjacent. Opposite is root 3, adjacent is 1 towards 60 degrees. So this will be root 3 over 1. So if you don't know how I get the values here, I will suggest you to look at the previous video, video number 1 in grade 10 trigonometry, to understand why. Because when I say the angle is here, the reference angle is here, opposite the angle is root 3, and adjacent to this angle is 1. Okay, so and then there we have like 3 over root 3. So what can we do here? I can times this one by root 3 over root 3. And then this will make 3 over root 3. It's proven as the question asked, even though it's not a rationalized form, but I'm answering the question. And then tan of 60 degrees, sine of 60 degrees, I need to prove it can be written like this. Look here, sine of 60 degrees, 60 degrees there. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite is root 3, hypotenuse is 2. So it's going to be like root 3 over 2. Then if I times here by root 3 over root 3, and then root 3 times root 3 makes 3, and then the denominator will be 2 root 3. So we have proven. We have proved question B. Thank you. Now we're going to do question C of exercise 4. The question says, without using a calculator, solve the following equations where the angles are acute. I prefer to start by drawing my triangles here. I know that if I have a right angle triangle here of size 1, 1 there, and then this is going to be root 2. So that's going to be 45 degrees, and that also 45 degrees. And then I have another right angle here. Right angle triangle there, that's going to be like 30 degrees and 60 degrees. And then the size will be plus 1, and it's going to be like 1, and then 2, and then there's going to be root 3. And then we also know that sine of the angle is opposite over hypotenuse, sometimes written as y over r. Cos of the angle is adjacent over hypotenuse, sometimes written as y over r, x over r. And then we also have like tan of the angle, which is given by opposite over adjacent, and sometimes written as y over x. So question 1, for instance, for question 1, we do have like sine of x equal to 1 over 2. So I look at, we can get 1 over 2. Okay, before even I do that, let me write this. Let me also write, I say that another strategy of finding the ratio quickly is like when you write like 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, okay? Now the next step will be to square root all of them, okay? And then the next will be to divide each by 2. And then we get the values like 0, 1 over 2, root 2 over 2, and then root 3 over 2, and then 1. So this way is for the sine. Okay. Okay, before if I do that, there are the values of the special angles: 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45, 60, and 90 degrees for the sine. Okay. And then for the cos, the values are in descending order. So 90 degrees here, 60 degrees there, 45 degrees there, 30 degrees there, and then 0 degrees there. Okay, so we can have these, and then we can start answer the question. For question 1, for instance, sine of x equal to r half. I look at r half is there. Okay, because we talk about sine, we know this side is the sine. Let me write like this. This is for the sine, and then this one is for the cos. Okay, so I have a half here. Sine of x is equal to a half. I can look here, a half. So I know sine of x, so therefore x must be 30 degrees. So x here must be equal to 30 degrees if I want to solve it without the calculator. Question 2, cos of x is equal to a half. I look here, I have a half there. Okay, it is 60 degrees. X must be equal to 60 degrees to have a half there, 60 degrees. Number 3, it says 2 sine x equal to root 3. Okay, in situation like this is what we do. We get rid of this 2, we divide by 2, and then we divide by 2 there. We divide 2 both sides. Okay, you know, when we divide by 2, this part is just simplified. It's simplified. So we have like sine of x equal to root 3 over 2. I'll look root 3 over 2 in blue. The solutions is there. Because it's sine, they talk about sine of x, so understand that x must be 60 degrees. Okay, so over here, x must be equal to 60 degrees. Number 4, root 2 cos x equal 1. Again, we need to get rid of this root 2. We divide by root 2 there. We divide by root 2 there also. We know that that will simplify here. And then I have like cos x is 1 over root 2. So 1 over root 2 is, we can simplify it, you know, rationalize it. It's 1 we times by root 2 over 2 over root 2. And then this makes root 2 over 2. So you can see root 2 over 2 is there. And that's equal to 45 degrees. So that means x will be 45 degrees, even if I was supposed to look it down there, you know, because it's cos root 2 is going to be 45 degrees. Question 5. 10x equal to root 3. For 10, I don't have it here, but you know, I can just divide the fractions, do the sine over the cos, or I can also just look at the triangle here. It's going to be easier here. I see 10 is opposite over adjacent. So if I look at opposite over adjacent to get root 3, it's if you do this is the opposite and that the adjacent. So the angle, if this is opposite, the angle must be 60 degrees. Okay, so over here, x must be equal to 60 degrees. Opposite over adjacent. So this is opposite the angle 60 degrees over the adjacent side, adjacent to the angle 1. So root 3 over 1 is just root 3. Okay, this is like root 3 over 1. If you're unsure, you can use these values still. You look, no, okay, just use the triangle here in cases like this, because it can be complicated if I want to use these values. So you do it's root 3 over 1, so the angle must be 60 degrees because root 3 is opposite to 60 degrees, and then 1 is adjacent to 60 degrees. So x must be 60 degrees. Okay, and in question 6, it says that root 3 x minus 1 equals 0. So in this case, we just move the negative 1 over, and then we will divide by. If I move the negative 1 over, it's going to be like root 3 10x equal 1. Okay, so now I want to get rid of the root 3. I'll divide here by root 3. I'll divide it also by root 3. You see? And then I know that this will simplify completely. So 10x equal to 1 over root 3. Now, because it's 10, I can just use this one. 1 over root 3. So it'll be 1 over root 3. So opposites 1. If 1 is the opposite side at the adjacent side, meaning there must be opposite adjacent to 30 degrees, because 30 degrees is opposite to 1, 30 degrees is adjacent to root 3. So this will be, we can say x equal to 30 degrees. Okay. Now let's do question 7. question 7 say 10x equal 1. Now, here, there's no way I can get 1 here because it's going to be 1 over root 3 or root 3 over 1. But over here, I can get 1. And obviously, I can see it's 45 degrees because the angles will always be the same here. Now, let's see. Even if I said this is the opposite side and that's adjacent, the angle will be 45 degrees still because it's opposite 1 and this is adjacent to 1. Even if I consider this other angle, opposite this angle is 1, adjacent to the angle is 1. So x here will be 45 degrees. Let's look at question 8. Sine 2x equal to 0,5. So we need to be careful here. 0,5 is a half, the same thing as a half. Okay, so now if I look at here, a half is 30 degrees. But now we have like, it means 2x equal to 30 degrees. So 2x equal to 30 degrees. But we are looking for x, not 2x. So we divide by 2 both sides. So both sides, that makes x equal to 15 degrees. You see? And then question 9, it was a mess over here. Question 9, we have this 0,5 can be written as a half, okay? And then if I look at a half, it's 60 degrees. So this means the whole angle here, 3x minus 15 is same as 60 degrees. So we can write 3x minus 15 equal to 60 degrees, which is a linear equation we learned from grade 9. So I'll move the negative 15 over, that will become 3x equal to 60 plus 15, okay? That makes, I can just do it over here. We have like 3x equal to 75. And now to get the value of x, we divide here by 3, we divide it by 3, and then x will be equal to 25. So question 9 here, the value of x will be equal to 25 degrees. You see? We can also do question 10. Okay, first we get rid of these 2. We divide by 2 both sides, you know, and then we know that root 2 over 2 is, because we talk about cos, it's 45 degrees. So it means that 2x, it means that, I want to do it here, calculations. It means that 2x equal to 45 degrees. Now to get the value of x, it's going to divide by 2 by 2. And then we have x equal to 22.5 degrees. So x equal to 22.5 degrees. Question 11, 310, sorry. 310x equal to root 3. All I can do is just to divide by 3 there. You know, this is the rationalized form of 1 over root 3, because if the angle, I consider my angle is 30 degrees, for instance, okay, 10 or 30 degrees is going to be like 1 over root 3. And if I decide to rationalize, I times there by root 3, and then also root 3, and then this makes root 3 over 3. So the angle is used here is the angle 30 degrees, okay? So now we can say that x is equal to 30 degrees. And then question 12. So we have like a quarter sine 4x equal to root 2 over 8. So let me do it over here. We have a quarter sine 4x equal to root 2 over 8. Now, I first need to get rid of this equator here. How can I? I'll times here by 4/1, the reciprocal, okay? Then also times by 4/1, because whatever we do on the left, we do on the right within an equation. I do that because I know 4 and 4 will cancel, and then we are left with sine 4x equal to, over here also 4 and 8, because 4 gets into 8 twice. So that's going to be equal to √2/2. Now, we know for sine, √2/2 is just 45. So that makes like 4x equal to 45 degrees. Okay, the angle. So it's sine of 4x here is at 45 degrees. Okay, sine of 45 degrees is equal to that. Now, to get the value of x, we divide by 4. Now, 45 by 4 is just 11.25. X will be 11.25. So x will be here 11.25. Thank you.